hey, welcome. We're about to practice a 1 hour total body workout that goes to Ashtanga, and this is specific Ashtanga Yoga Shala, and this is my teacher training group that you'll practice with. And I just want to say this particular class is for our Patreon community as a thank you for 600 patrons. And so our 1 hour class to celebrate that, and let's start sitting and get started. Now I invite you to create your own personal intention for this practice. Just quietly setting that. And now let's join our energies and send out all of our intentions with the sound of Om. Exhaling everything out. And inhale for Om. And releasing the hands, and let your eyes softly blink open. And now we'll switch the cross of the shins, so the other one is in front. Continue to ground down through your sitting bones as you inhale and sweep your arms out, around and up. Reaching up through arrow straight arms, keep the front ribs in. And then as you exhale, take your left hand to the right knee and the right hand behind you. Inhale again to lengthen through the spine. Exhale to twist, start to roll the right shoulder back. Every inhale, see if you can lengthen up just a bit more. And every exhale, just rolling the shoulder back gently. Right. And then inhale to bring your head to center, and exhale to release, keeping the shins crossed the way they are. Bring your fingertips in front. Pull your chest forward on an inhale, lengthen. You can stay right here or exhale, begin to walk forward. Start to stretch out the hips and the lower back. Good. And reaching the arms forward any amount. Still soften around the neck. Take a long breath in and out. Nice ujjayi. And then as you inhale, begin to walk yourself back up. And then we'll switch the cross again, so you've got your regular shin in front once again. And find that groundedness in the sitting bones, and inhale again, sweep the arms out, around and up with the palms facing each other, ribs in. Exhale, take your right hand to the left knee, left hand behind, sit tall and lengthen on an inhale, and begin to twist as you exhale. So as you're twisting, focus on turning from your rib cage. The lower back might move a little bit, but really the focus will be more toward moving the middle spine and the rib cage. Take a couple more breaths. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, maybe twisting a bit more. Good. As you take your next inhale, bring your head to center. Exhale, unwinding. And then take your fingertips in front, pull the chest forward again on an inhale. And either stay or walk yourself any amount as you exhale. And imagine that as you inhale, you're breathing from the base of your spine all the way to the crown of the head. And as you're exhaling, the crown of the head back down to the base of the spine. Keep the sitting bones rooted and grounded down, and then lengthen from that place. And then slowly begin to walk yourself up as you inhale. And then let's roll forward onto the hands and knees, and if you've got blankets and bolsters on your mat, you can slide them off to the side. If your knees are sensitive though, put your blanket underneath them. Line up your wrists under your shoulders with your knees under your hips. Good. And we'll just go a couple rounds of cat and cow to warm up. So as you inhale, bring your chest forward, lift your chin, tailbone slightly up. As you exhale, rounding in the back, chin toward chest, and press away from the floor and really pull in through the ribs and belly. Inhale again, widen across the collarbones, bring the chest through. Exhale, press away from the floor and round. Bottom of the exhale, pull the belly in and up. And again, inhale. Shoulder blades gently toward the waist. Even keep the belly lifted a bit here. And then exhale, rounding. Bottom of the exhale, really pull in through the ribs and belly. Engage those belly muscles. Good, one more. Inhale. Lifting chin, lifting tailbone, shoulder blades toward the waist. Exhale, and rounding. Pulling the belly in and up. Good. Come to a neutral spine. Walk your hands about a handprint forward and keep the fingers spread. We're going to do some hip circles. So as you inhale, take your hips over to the right. Begin to exhale, take your hip toward the right heel and then over toward the left heel. And then inhale, left hip toward left elbow and then right elbow. And I think you've got the idea. So start to make some circles. You can make big ones or small ones. And if you find a place in your body where that feels really good and you just want to hang out there and take a breath or two to stretch that part, then do that. So we want to get the hips starting to open up and lubricated, get them moving. Good. Let's take one more in this position, in this direction. And then wherever you are, just take a pause and start to go in the other direction. So taking to the left first, forward, and around. And again, same idea. Make big circles, make small circles. Stop and stretch someplace that feels nice if you want to. Keep the breath steady as you move. So linking your breath with your movement. Let's finish one more circle in this direction. When you're done, there's no rush. When you're finished, come to an extended child's pose. Begin to reach your arms forward so that the elbows straighten out and the wrists and the forearms start to lift away from the floor. Make sure your arms are shoulders distance apart and start to press into the base of your fingers as you lift up through your forearms a bit more. Then begin to turn your outer upper arms, your triceps, down toward the floor and spin your biceps, your upper inner arms, toward the ceiling. Try and keep that same engagement in the arms as you press a little more into the thumb first finger side of the hands. And then as if your hands are glued to the mat, come up onto your knees, don't let the hands move, tuck your toes and stretch into down dog. And let's keep the knees bent for this first part. Yeah, so bend your knees and start to stretch back, but keep your butt up high. And then you can start to bicycle, keeping that nice length you created in your spine. Make sure the feet are hips width apart and check out your heels. Make sure they're behind your middle toes. Good. Now begin to settle into your down dog. So you're pressing the weight up toward your hips and down toward the heels. As you're stretching back, gently pull your ribs and belly in and up. Every time you come into an exhale, pause a moment at the bottom of it and lift your belly even a little bit more. So we're really engaging the belly muscles for our practice today. Good. Speaking of which, let's inhale to plank. Good. So moving the chest forward, lengthen the sitting bones to heels. If you want to put your knees down at any time, you're more than welcome. If the knees are up, lift them toward the ceiling gently. Reach the crown of the head forward. Try not to let the head drop. And take 3 breaths. Keep pressing up between the shoulder blades and the upper back as you bring your chest forward. Good, 1 more breath. Now knees can be up or down. Shift your shoulders forward about 1 inch and slowly lower to your belly. Hug your elbows in as you lower. Ooh, that was good, nice and slow. Bring your hands by your low ribs with your elbows pointed straight up. Good. Press all 10 toenails down. Inhale, peel up into a cobra. Pull the belly away from the floor. Press the pubic bone down. Good, and then lower back down. And tuck your toes under. Knees can stay up or down, pressing to plank and then to down dog. Good. And breathing here. Nice. Now as you take your next inhale, float your right leg back and up and lift it from the inner thigh. Drop the outer hip so hips are level. Nice. As you exhale, draw your knee in toward your belly, shoulders over wrists, and hover a moment. Great. Take a breath in. As you exhale, step it up by the right hand. Now take your right hand to the inside of the foot. You can always place your hands on blocks if you like. The back knee can be up or down, is up to you. But do make sure your knee is over your ankle and is pointed straight ahead. Then inhale, pull your chest forward and lengthen. Exhale, staying here or coming to the forearms or forearms on a block. And back knee up or down. Now, if your knee starts to move out to the right, which it'll have a tendency to do, just make sure your toes also turn to the right so the knee is still over the middle toes. Good. Take a breath here. We're not going to stay in it too long because we're still warming up. So from here, if you're on your forearms, return to your hands. Bring that right foot in a little, take the right hand on the outside and step back to plank. Try to keep the hips low. Knees can be up or down through chaturanga. Hug the elbows in, shift forward with the shoulders. Inhale, cobra or up dog is your choice. Thighs and knees are off the floor if you're an up dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good. And now we'll inhale to float the left leg back and up and lift it from the inner thigh, drop the outer hip. Exhale, draw it in, knee toward nose, shoulders over wrists. Take an inhale here, exhale, step it up by the left hand. Then move it over a little and bring your hands on the inside of the left foot. Good. You can stay on the ball of the back foot or drop the knee down. Inhale, pull your chest forward and lengthen your spine as your left hip pulls back. And then exhale, either staying up on the hands or taking the forearms down or forearms on blocks. Now, if your left knee is going out to the left a little bit, turn your toes in the same direction. If you can keep the knee in by the shoulder, then you could work there too. And try and keep the spine nice and long, pulling the left hip back for 3 breaths. Shoulder blades release away from the ears. And 2. And if you're on your forearms, make your way up to your hands. Try to keep your hips low as you step back to plank pose. Good. Chaturanga, hug the elbows in. Inhaling, upward dog or cobra. And exhaling back into downward dog. Nice. Good. Stretch back here, pull in through the ribs and belly. Remember, every time you exhale, just pause at the bottom of it and draw the belly in and up. Just getting those muscles engaging. 2 more breaths here. Good. And 1 more long breath in. Exhale everything out, bend the knees, look past the fingers and lightly step or hop your feet forward. Good, inhale, come halfway up, look up, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold in. Press down through your feet and rise up on your inhale. and exhale to Samastitihi. Good. Let's take Surya Namaskar. So come to the front of the mat, either big toes together, heels slightly apart, or feet hips width. Press evenly through the feet, firm the legs, lift the belly, widen the chest. Inhale, sweep the arms up, keep the ribs in. And exhale, hinge from your hip creases and fold forward. Inhale, look up and lengthen halfway. As you exhale, either stepping to plank or hopping back into chaturanga. Inhaling to up dog or cobra, shoulders above wrists. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Good. Breathing here, even out the breath so your inhales and exhales are equal in length. If at any time you need a break, then just take your knees down and rest. It's always important to listen to your body. Good, the elbows look good. Let's take 2 more long breaths. Keep stretching back, creating length through the spine. Good, 1 more long breath in. Exhale it out, bend the knees and look up, lightly step or hop your feet forward. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana, look up. Exhale and fold, bend the knees a little if you need to. Press down through the feet, inhale and sweep up, keeping the ribs and belly lifted. And Samastitihi, exhale. Good, 1 more time. Inhale and reach. Exhale, hinge from the hips and fold. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, step or float, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And reconnect with your breath to even it out. So sometimes you find if you're flowing from posture to posture, your breath gets away from you a bit. If that happens, it's usually a good indicator that you need a little rest. So always encourage a little rest when needed. Good. Let's take 1 more long breath in. Exhale everything out. Bend the knees, look up, lightly step or hop your feet forward. Good. Inhale, lengthen halfway. And exhale to fold. Press down through the feet, inhale and rise up. And exhale to Samastitihi. Good. Let's do a little balancing, tree pose. Find a spot to focus on. We'll ground down first through the left leg and we'll pick up the right and take it anywhere below or above the knee. Okay? So right leg, make sure that foot is parallel with the outside of the mat. And the left leg, we'll pick up the right leg anywhere above or below. Once you have the leg up, try and draw your left hip in towards center as you drop your right hip down. And whenever you're ready, add your arms. Good. Keep the ribs and belly pulling in. Relax the shoulders a little bit, but extend up through the arms. For 3 breaths. And 2. And slowly release the arms and release the leg. Very nice. Second side, grounding down through the right leg. We'll pick up the left. Anywhere above or below the knee. Make sure the foot of the right leg is still parallel with the outside of your mat. And draw your right hip in and drop your left hip down. Add your arms whenever you're ready. As you reach up through the arms, keep the ribs drawing down and keep lifting through the back ribs. Stretching up, but soften around the neck. Nice. We'll take another breath. And then slowly release the arms and release the leg back to Tadasana. It's harder when the camera's on to hold your pose, right? Psychological thing, but it's real. All Okay, let's come back to Tadasana at the front of the mat. And we'll do a little flow with some externally rotated standing poses, which they know what that means because they did the training. And you'll find out soon. Inhale and sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge from your hips and fold forward. As you inhale, look up to lengthen. On your exhale, step or float back and find chaturanga. As you inhale, come to up dog or cobra pose. And exhale back into down dog. On your inhale, float your right leg up, lifting from the inner thigh, still level hips. And then exhale, we'll bend the knee and open up the hip. Every once in a while, it feels so nice. We just don't want to do it every single time because it can create some tension or pain in the lower back to do it every single time. Square off your hips on your inhale. As you exhale, draw knee toward nose again, shoulders over wrists. Good, take a breath in. Exhale, step the foot right in the middle of your hands. Spin your back heel down, lining heel to arch. Inhale, come up to warrior two. Good, as you exhale, make sure your knee is right over your ankle and pointed over the middle toes. Double checking that your feet are lined up heel to arch. Start to drop your front hip down. Pressing your back thigh back, but lifting up through the back inner thigh. Good. Really nice. Now let's take the hands and interlace fingers behind you or hook thumbs. Then open up through the chest on your inhale, and then begin to bow forward as you exhale. So your right shoulder will come toward the right knee. Instead of letting your elbows lock out, keep them a little bit soft. And then see if you can use the strength of your shoulders to stretch. Keep pressing through the outer edge of the back foot, lifting the back inner thigh. And take one more breath. Nice. Press firmly into the front heel. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Good. Exhale here. Take a breath in. As you exhale, cartwheel the arms down and make your way into down dog. So you can move through vinyasa, or you can just skip it and go right into your down dog. Pay attention to how your body is feeling and make the best choice for you in this moment. Good. On the next inhale, we'll float the left leg back and up, first from the inner thigh with level hips. And then start to bend the knee and open up the hip. Give it a good stretch. Press back evenly through arms and shoulders and try and reach down through the right heel. Good. And inhale to square off the hips. As you exhale, draw knee toward nose, shoulders over wrists. Pull the belly in, take an inhale. Exhale, step it between the hands, spin the back heel down, line heel to arch, come on up, warrior two. Good, exhale here to find your pose, making sure the knee is over the ankle. Point the knee straight ahead. So for many of us, we need to press the knee a little toward the pinky toe side of the foot. And the front hip is dropping down and underneath. The back thigh pressing back. And gently spiral the back inner thigh up. Keep widening through the collarbones. The belly is lifted. Really nice. And the gaze over the fingertips. Now take your hands behind you and interlace with the other thumb or pinky on top. Roll the shoulders back, open the chest on your inhale, and then start to fold forward on your exhale. So your left shoulder is coming toward the left knee. And remember to keep softness in the elbow joints. So we don't want to lock them out, but we can use the strength of our shoulders to get into that stretch. And use the breath. Let your head just go. Keep pressing through the outer edge of your back foot and lifting up through your back inner thigh. Good. Let's take another breath here. Now press firmly into your front heel. Inhale, we'll come back up. Exhale, release the hands, warrior two. Breath in and exhale, windmill the arms down. Make your way into down dog any way you like. So decide what is best for you, of whether or not you'll take that next vinyasa. Good. Let's breathe here. Again, reconnecting with Ujjayi breath. Gaze between knees or feet. And just try to keep yourself contained within you. Not worrying about what else is happening, what else might happen later, but just being here now. Really nice. Okay, as you take your next breath in, let's lift the right leg again. And exhale, slowly step it between the hands as if it doesn't make a sound. Now if it doesn't make it there, you just pick it up and put it there. Good, spin the back heel down once again, come back to warrior two as you inhale. Good, exhale, sinking in. Then we'll take the left hand behind the back and reverse. As you exhale, bend into that right knee. Now inhale, come up, lean forward, wrap your right arm around your belly and stretch your left arm over for a variation of side angle. Turn your belly up toward the ceiling a little bit. Nice. Let's do that again. Inhale, come back up. Take the left hand behind your back and reverse your warrior. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, back up. Bring your right arm, wrap your belly. Take your left arm in line with the ear. Spin your tricep down. For whatever reason, good things come in threes. Inhale, come on back up. Bring your left hand behind, reverse. Right arm up. Bend the knee. Good, inhale back up, lean forward, get some length and take your right arm around your belly and reach your left arm over. Great. And then inhale back to warrior two. Then we're gonna take the left hand and reverse. Exhale, bend the front knee. Now inhale, straighten it out. Stay for your exhale. Next inhale, come on up. Triangle pose. If you like a shorter stance, you'll walk it in. Hinge from your hip, reach, reach, reach out and down. Hand comes to shin, foot, floor, or block. Stretch up through the top arm. And since we want to get our shoulders nice and warm today, let's take the left arm forward on your inhale. As you exhale, sweep it in front of you and then take it to your lower back. Either leave it there or reach around to hook it onto your thigh. And then begin to roll your top shoulder back. Keep pressing into the big toe mound of your right foot. And draw your hip underneath you as you lean your torso back over the thigh. Press calf to shin and keep lifting through the arches of the feet. Nice. Take just another breath here, rolling that shoulder back. Nice. And then look down to the foot. Inhale, come on up, stretch the arms out. Exhale, little bend in the knees so you can windmill the hands down and either take your vinyasa or go right into down dog, your choice. Good. Nice. All right. Let's do the left leg back and up on an inhale. Remember, slowly, quietly, step it right between the hands as you exhale. Really good. Spin the back heel down, coming to warrior two, inhale. And stay here on your exhale, just making sure your knees over your ankle, pointed straight ahead. Now keep the weight in your front foot on your heel and draw down through the outer edge of the back foot, but then press the back ankle in and up. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna take the left hand, the right hand behind the back and reverse. Inhale, good. Next inhale, come on up. Lean forward, then wrap your left arm around your belly and stretch your right arm up and over, spinning the tricep down. Good. Keep pressing that front heel. Inhale, back up. Good. Exhale the right arm behind, stretch your left arm back, bend into the front knee. Yes. Inhale, come on up. Leaning forward, left arm around belly, stretch right arm up and over, relax around the neck. One more. Inhale, come on up. Taking your right hand behind, reverse, bend the front knee. Next, inhale back up, lean forward, get some length in the bottom side of the torso, then wrap your left arm around belly, right arm in line with ear. Very nice. Inhale, press that front heel, come to warrior two, stretch both arms out. This time we'll drop the right arm onto the leg to reverse. Exhale, bending that left knee just a bit. Now keep reversing and straighten the leg and stay for your exhale, reverse triangle. And then come on up on your inhale, set up for triangle, shorten the stance if you like. Hinge from your hip crease, reach as far as you can, keep reaching, and then take the hand down to shin, foot, floor, or block. Stretching up through the right arm first. Lengthen from crown of head to navel, especially on the bottom side of the torso. Now take your right arm forward in line with your ear as you inhale. Exhale, sweep it down in front of you and then take it to your lower back or reach around to hook it onto the thigh. Either way, try and roll your top shoulder back. So we're getting some shoulder stretching. Lengthen the crown of your head forward. If it's comfortable to turn and look up, you may. If it is not comfortable, then look forward or down. Keep breathing here. So good. There's not much to fix anymore with you teacher training students. So just walking around and saying, good job. This is really nice. Good. All right, take one more breath. Look down at your front foot. Inhale, come on up. Stretch out your arms, bend your knee a little. Exhale, windmill the arms down through vinyasa, or skip it and go to down dog, your choice. Good, good. Really nice work. Let's take a couple breaths here. Remember, child's pose is always an option. As we're breathing here, we can just as easily breathe in child's pose, recovering our breath. Good. And one more long breath in. Then exhale everything out. Bend the knees, keep your hips high, look forward, lightly step or hop, feet to hands. Inhale, look up to lengthen. Exhale and fold. As you inhale this time, let's bend the knees and drop the hips and come to Utkatasana, chair pose. So press the weight back into the heels, spin the inner thighs down, press the shins back. Drop your booty down to lengthen your lower back. Then bring your hands to your heart. Lean forward on your inhale, take your right arm across as you exhale to twist. Now look at your knees. If your right knee went in front of the left, pull your right hip back. Good, take another breath here. Inhale to find length through your spine. And then exhale, remember, twisting from above the waist, so focus on the rib cage. Rolling the top shoulder back any amount. Really nice. Come to center on your inhale and fold forward on your exhale. Good. Take a breath here. Let your head hang, knees bent or straight. Nice. And inhale, look up. Exhale, begin to bend the knees, drop the hips, and take arms up by ears again for Utkatasana. Drop your tailbone down. Pull your belly in, shift the weight toward the heels. Inner thighs spinning down, shins back. Now take hands to heart center. As you inhale, see if you can get any more length through your spine. On your exhale, bring your left arm across and twist. Good. As you inhale, widen across the chest, create length in the spine. As you exhale, twist in your rib cage, drop a little deeper if possible. Check out your knees. If your left knee went ahead of the right knee, pull the left hip back. Good, take another breath here. Yes, resting whenever you need a rest is always encouraged. And then come to center and fold forward. Really good. Let's take the feet hips width apart here and grab the elbows. And hang. Knees bent or straight. And if you'd like, you can gently rock your torso side to side. Just a little well-deserved break. Plus, for at home, it's really hot in here. All right, let's take the arms down, let them just hang. Let your head hang. And then take a slight bend in the knees, bring hands to hip bones, and come up with a nice long spine as you inhale. Okay. Woo, wiping off the sweat. Okay, so we're gonna do another balance. I'm sorry, but that's just what's happening. So it's similar to thread the needle pose, except we'll be balancing. Some of you might even add an arm balance to it, and I'll show you how to do it, but it's not one of my, favorites, so I'll tell you how though. All right, so start to ground down, and we'll keep the right leg, no, let's keep the left leg down first, and we'll pick up the right leg. Flex your ankle, take it just above the knee. Bless you. Good, so far so good. Let's bring hands to heart center. So here you're gonna find your steady place to look, something that's not moving. Keep your chest wide and your spine long, and now start to bend your standing leg and let your hips go back. So like chair pose. And you can stay right here. If you wanna go a little deeper, you can rest your hands or your forearms on your shin. Some of you might go a little deeper and take your hands to the floor. So this is where the arm balance would come in. You'll take your right foot and wrap it around your tricep. Walk forward a little bit with your hands or go back with your foot. Start to take the weight forward, and maybe that back leg will come up and maybe it'll straighten right out. Oh, gorgeous. Really nice. Really nice. Good. And then if it's up, let's bring it back down, and we'll come back up just the way we came. So pausing, hands to heart, slowly stepping up and releasing. Really good. Okay, let's do the other leg. So we'll ground down now through our right leg and take our left foot up just above the knee. Flex that ankle. So just pause here, get real steady here first. Keep your steady gazing point. When you're ready, just bring your hands to your heart and start to bend the standing leg. Keep your chest lifted and your spine long, and let your butt go back. You can stay right here. You can rest forearms on shin. If you want to go deeper, the hands to the floor, where you're wrapping your left foot around the outside of your tricep, leaning the hands forward or walking that standing foot back a little. Start to press the weight forward, but round the back like you do in your cat pose. Pull in the belly. Leg, if it's up, you might start to straighten it. Really good. Nice. And then if it's off the floor, let's bring it back down, and we'll come on up the way we came. To shin, to heart. To stand. Nice work. All right, back to Tadasana at the front of the mat. There you go. Let's inhale and bend the knees again into chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, belly to thighs, and then straighten the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, look up, lengthen, Ardha. Exhale, step or float, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale to down dog. Floating the right leg back and up. Exhale, bring it forward, knee toward nose, hover. Good, take a breath in. Exhale, take it to your right tricep, the outside. Inhale here, exhale, take it to your left tricep. Yeah. Inhale, bring it to center. Exhale, step it by the right hand. Stay on the ball of your back foot, come on up into high lunge, Anjaneyasana. Make sure your right knee is over your ankle, and then let's all bend the back knee and tilt the pelvis forward, pull the right hip back, and now straighten through the back leg. Yes, good. Pull the front ribs down and lift through the back ribs. Now bring your hands to your hearts, lean your torso forward on your inhale. Exhale, hook your left arm across, twist. Inhale, widen across the collarbones, lengthen the spine. Exhale, stay here, or some of you might even take your left hand down to the floor, right arm up. Good. Inhale here, lengthen. Exhale, twisting a little bit more. If you can interlock here, wow, feel free. Like, is that a thing? It is a thing. It's not easy though. Let's take one more breath. Now begin to firm your outer hips and inner thighs. Unwind yourself and come back into crescent on an inhale, all the way up. Nice. Then exhale, bring the hands down to down dog any way you wish. Remember, you can always skip the vinyasa, go right into it. Good. Inhale to float the left leg back and up. As you exhale, bring it forward, knee toward nose, shoulders over wrists. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, knee to left tricep. Yeah, inhale here, exhale, knee to right tricep. Inhale to center, exhale, step it up by the left thumb. Stand the ball of the back foot, come on up into high lunge. Good, make sure the left knee is over the ankle, and let's bend the back knee again. Tilt the pelvis forward, so you're lifting your frontal hip bones toward the lower ribs, then pull in through the belly, pull the left hip back, and then straighten through the back leg as much as it will. Stretching up through arrow straight arms, really good. And get lots of length through the spine. Then hands to hearts. As you inhale, lengthen forward. As you exhale, right arm across. Yeah. Inhale, create length through the spine. Exhale, twisting a little more. Maybe the right hand will come to the floor. I love seeing left knees down on the floor as well. It's a great way to modify. Give yourself a little break if you need it. Inhale to lengthen. If you want to twist in a little deeper, taking interlock, that's an option. Good. Roll that top shoulder back, especially in interlock. Now begin to firm the outer hips and inner thighs in towards center. Unwind. Inhale, come back up into crescent. Excellent. Exhale, bring the hands down. Come to plank and pause. Nice. Step your feet together. Firm the legs, firm the belly. Roll to the pinky toe side of the right foot and lift up through the left arm. You can take your bottom knee down for more support. Just drop it down. If it isn't, keep lifting the hips and bring your top hip a little bit forward. Tree pose is nice if you want to take the tree variation. Or grab the big toe, that variation is great too. Whatever you feel, just one more breath wherever you are. Lengthen butt to backs of knees. Good, take your top hand to your hip, look back to the floor, come to plank, vinyasa or lift to down dog, your choice. Ooh, tree vinyasa. Good, back to plank as you inhale, engaging your abdominal muscles a lot. Step your feet together. Roll to the pinky toe side of the left foot. Stretch up through the top arm, the right arm. Good. Lengthen sitting bones to heels. Take any variations you like with the legs, but keep your top hip moving a little bit forward toward the side of the room that you're looking toward. Engage those abdominal muscles, those core muscles. Take the bottom knee down if it's getting to be a bit much. Yes, take it down. Right, good job. Now let's take the right hand to hip, look back to the floor and make your way to plank pose and through vinyasa or right into down dog. Nice work. All right, we're gonna lift the right leg again. Don't worry, it's not gonna be too horrible. As you exhale, bring it through for pigeon. Okay, pigeon pose. If you're in pigeon pose and this hurts your knee, then I would rather for you to come onto your back and thread the needle, okay? I want you to keep your hips level. So yeah, so if you're rolling off to your right hip, grab your blanket or your block and stick it under there so hips stay level. Then pull the chest forward on your inhale. Make sure your back toes are straight back behind you and that leg isn't doing anything funny. And then exhale, you can stay up or to forearms or all the way down. Unfortunately, we can't stay too long because we still have one more peak pose. But we'll stretch our hips and give ourselves a little bit of a break. So soften around the neck. Even out your Ujjayi breath. Isn't it nice when your body is fatigued to come into this pose and you really don't have as much holding in the hips this way? You can just let them kind of relax. This one's fine for you? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, 3 breaths. If you're all the way down on your next inhale, make your way on your forearms. Then bring your left forearm parallel with the front of the mat and inhale, reach up through the right arm and twist. Draw the shoulder away from the ear. You can stay here or you can opt to reach back for your left foot and draw it in for a little stretch in the front of the quad and the hip flexor. One more breath. Nice, and release it down. Tuck your toes under and just stretch that right leg back and up to a 3-legged down dog and just stretch it out if you want to make a circle or move it a little bit just to give it a stretch. Great, and then set it back down. We'll inhale to float the left leg back and up. Exhale, bring it through for pigeon. So even if you didn't have any pain in the front, in the right leg, if you have knee pain in the left leg, still encourage you to take thread the needle with left ankle above right knee. You know, one side to the other can be different. Make sure your hips are level. Make sure your toes are pointed straight back. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, you can stay up or forearms down or lengthen all the way down. Let's keep those hips nice and level. Yeah. Just use this time to reconnect with your breath and with your intention. Just use this time for a little recovery from all the work we've already done. Remember, we'll keep our hips nice and level. And if you're feeling tightness in the left hip, completely normal. Just breathe into that hip. Let your breath go there, allowing that hip to soften. For 3 more breaths. As you take your next inhale, if you're all the way down, make your way to your forearms. Now bring your right forearm parallel with the front of the mat and reach the left arm up for a twist. Draw the shoulder away from the ear. And if you'd like, you can add the back leg reaching for the foot. So if you feel a good stretch, it's great. If you don't feel a good stretch, then resist it away a little bit. As you pull it in, press it away so you can get a stretch that way. One more breath. Great, and release it. Tuck your back toes under, stretch your left leg back and up in a 3-legged dog. And a nice stretch. Very good. And then we'll set it back down, and now we'll come through to seated. So step or hop to seated. Okay, I did promise Astavakrasana. So let's get there, okay? So from seated, we're just gonna extend the legs out and then take your right leg and bring it in. You can either bring your elbows underneath or you can do the cradle. If this doesn't work, then keep it down here, just to start to open up that hip a little bit. So if you've got the forklift style or the cradle style, just gently rock side to side, but instead of letting your back round, keep your chest lifted, yeah. So this is the first part, and you can stay with this part. You don't have to do anything else. Second part is you take this leg out to the side, and then take the foot toward the ear like a telephone. Hello. It's bringing it up. Yeah. So you can feel a little more stretch, right? Okay. The next part is bringing it up a little bit higher so you're getting your knee up by your shoulder. Yeah. Now, at this point, if you're feeling a really sharp pain run down the side of your leg, that means stop, please. Yeah? Now, if it's up here, you're pressing it down onto the arm, and it doesn't have to be on the shoulder. Can you squeeze it on the arm? Mine's not getting up to my shoulder very easily today, so c'est la vie. Squeezing it down. Then we're gonna take this left ankle to the right ankle. As we do that, we're crossing them. The next step is we're gonna lean our whole body weight forward, and we're gonna bend our elbows like we're in chaturanga. At the same time, take your legs out to the side, try to squeeze your legs onto that arm. So start to lean forward, bend your elbows like chaturanga elbows, and then take them out to the side and squeeze. Oh, very good. And when you're ready to relax, just take your butt down, your asana down. Ah, very good, see? Barbara's like, I'll never be able to do that pose, and boom, she went right in. Yeah, so good. All right, that went very well. Let's try the other leg, shall we? Now remember, one leg different than the other. Don't get discouraged if the second one doesn't work. So, first step, with the left leg, we'll either cradle or we can forklift. And just gently rock it a little bit because we're stretching the hips still. Another way you can do this is keep the other knee bent and just stretch it this way. But make sure you're not rounding. You want to keep a nice long spine. Step one. Step two, you can always stay here, is take it out to the side, bring it back toward the ear. I did this once in a class, and I said, like a telephone, and one of the students was like, I need a cordless. So you can stay with this, or you'll take your left arm under, and just try to get the knee up as high as it'll go. It might not come all the way up, it's okay. But again, if you're feeling this really, so this is the IT band that you're feeling. It's a big stretch, big kind of pain all the way down the leg. That's a good indication to stop and go a little bit less, okay? So it's up toward the shoulder, or it's pressing onto the arm. Now we're gonna take our right ankle on the left. The next step is we start to lean our body weight forward. It's kind of, I like all one motions. As you lean forward, you'll take your legs out to the side and squeeze your legs onto your arm. Yes, yes. And then when you're done, just come back to seated. Woo! Nice work. All right. Very important question. Does it matter if you get into the peak pose? No. No, it doesn't. Hope not. No. What matters is you give it your best. And that's all we can do. And when you're giving it your best, you're completely focused on that pose. You're not thinking about what happened earlier, what he said, she said. You're not thinking about what's going on later. You're in the moment. And that is yoga. Good work. All right, so we're going to come forward onto hands and knees. And then step back into plank, or you can keep your knees down in plank pose with knees down. And then shift forward about an inch lower all the way to your belly. Exhale. Good. Let's do Shalabhasana. Take your arms alongside your body. Face your palms in toward your legs. Pull your belly away from the floor. As you inhale, roll the shoulder heads up and then lift the chest and add the legs. As you lift your legs, lift them from the inner thighs. Spin the outer hips down and keep the back of your neck nice and long. Good. 3 breaths. And 2. And release and rest. You can take your forehead down or one ear down. Rest. Very nice. All right. Same thing. Arms by your sides. pull in through the belly, start to lengthen your tailbone toward heels, and inhale, lift everything up. Remember to roll the shoulder heads up, keep the collarbones wide. Inner thighs are lifting, outer hips rolling down. 3 breaths. And 2. And release and rest. Again, take the forehead down or take the other ear down. Good. Now the next one, you can stay with that same posture, or we can move to Dhanurasana. If you're going to take Dhanurasana, you'll bend your knees and reach back for your feet, usually the little toe sides. Okay, but the same actions as before. So pull the belly in, lengthen butt to backs of knees, roll shoulders, inhale, start to lift up, and then begin to press back. Try to keep your knees from going wider than hips width if possible. Yes, always take care of your back. So if you have any back things going on, then don't take this one. One more breath. And release and rest. Forehead or first ear down. The first Dhanurasana is always a little bit sticky to get in there. So we'll do just one more, and then we'll go the other way. Okay, so either another Dhanurasana, or you can stay with Shalabhasana. Listen to your body, take care of it. If you're going into Dhanurasana, you'll bend the knees, take the feet, otherwise the legs stay straight. Pull the belly in, press pubic bone down, inhale, lift up. So you're gonna start by pressing the feet up toward the ceiling, and then exhale, start to press them toward the back of the mat at the same time. It's very strengthening, this pose. So is Shalabhasana. Good, keep breathing, try to soften around the neck for 3 breaths. Knees no wider than hips if you can. 2. And release. Good. Take the other ear down or forehead, rest. Whew. And now bring your hands by your low ribs and press into child's pose. Nice child's pose. Stretch back. Good. So just make it a nice resting child's pose. And let your back start to unwind from all of those twists, all of that core work, and then the back bends. Good. And now start to extend the arms forward, spread the fingers wide. And let's come into one last down dog. So up onto the knees, tuck the toes, stretch back. Again, this is another great way to stretch out your back. So if your hamstrings happen to be tight, if you bend your knees, then you can stick your buns up a little bit more, squeeze outer hips in, keep squeezing inner thighs. We can get some nice length through the spine. Now, only if you would really, really love it, take one more vinyasa. Inhaling to plank, exhaling through chaturanga, inhaling to up dog or cobra, exhaling to down dog. A lot of love in this room. And then looking forward, we're gonna come through and sit. So bend the knees, lightly step or hop to seated. Good, and then extend the legs in front of you into Dandasana. So if you're sitting in Dandasana with your hands by your hips and you're lengthening your spine as much as you can, but it doesn't feel like it's working out very well for you, see what Tessa's doing? She's sitting on the edge of a blanket, and that's gonna help to lengthen her spine some more. So at home, if you're finding that really difficult to sit up tall, just sit on the edge of a blanket or a pillow, okay? Thanks, Tessa. Pull your toes back, but keep your heels pressing down. Good, and then inhale, take the arms up. As you exhale, hinge from your hips and come forward. You can reach for your legs or your feet, or if you have a strap, you can put the strap around your feet. If you want to go a little bit more, like Kelly feels like she wants to get a little extra stretch, you could put a block or 2 in front of your feet. But try to keep your spine nice and long. So instead of thinking you want to bring your head to your knees, try to bring your belly to thighs and keep your chest moving forward. And soften your shoulders away from your ears. Good. Let's take a few long breaths. Good. Yeah, that looks good. Keep pulling those toes back to keep the legs firm. So as you're stretching, we're stretching out the hamstrings as well as the low back, but with the hamstring stretching, we also want to keep engagement in the quadriceps to keep the hamstrings from overstretching. Good. As you inhale, lift your head. As you exhale, release. Good. So if you've got your blanket there that you're sitting on, you can slide that off to the side and make your way onto your back. If you want a little more core work, you can do it slowly. Otherwise, just lay down, bend the knees, lay down carefully. Good. Great. And now let's hug the knees into the chest. Rock a little side to side. And then keeping your knees bent, put your feet back to the floor. And pick up your hips, take them over to your right a little bit, and drop your knees to the left. Twist. Looking over the right shoulder. Now if you want a deeper twist, you can cross your right knee on top of the left knee. The right knee, yeah, or left on top of right, either way works. It will deepen the twist. And as you're here twisting, see if you can turn your belly up toward the ceiling. Ooh, Claire just got here to give her wonderful adjustments, just in time for Savasana too. Inhale and exhale. Let's just take 2 more breaths here. And if the legs are crossed, uncross them, bring your knees back up to center on your inhale. And now take your hips over to the left a little bit, and knees over to the right. If you want a deeper twist, you can cross the left knee over the right. Look over your left shoulder in case unless it bothers your neck. If it does, then no need. And start as you're twisting, see if you can begin to turn your belly up toward the ceiling. And just a couple more breaths here. As you take your next inhale, uncross the legs if they're crossed, bring your knees back up to center, and hug the knees into your chest one last time. This time as you're hugging your knees in, lengthen your sitting bones down toward the floor, stretch out your back. And then slowly, slowly make your way into your final resting pose, into Savasana. If you have a blanket handy and you want to roll it up underneath your knees, especially if your lower back feels a little bit uncomfortable, or underneath your head, especially if your neck feels a bit uncomfortable, do that. Cover up if you want to cover up. And then once you get into your final resting pose, just let your feet flop open, arms by your sides, palms up. Relax. Release Ujjayi breathing, just natural breath, quiet mind and quiet body. Savasana. And now, right where you are, take a longer breath in. And as you exhale it, start to make little movements in your fingers and your toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles. Stretch out through your arms and your legs. And then bending the knees. And roll to your right side carefully. Just pause there a moment. And thank yourself for showing up and taking your practice and just being present and being amazing. And using your left hand, make your way up to seated. Taking a nice comfortable seat. You can continue with your eyes closed, hands resting on your legs or hands together in Anjali Mudra in front of the heart. Our quote that we have today, you may have heard this one before, but it bears repeating, from Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. You can do anything you put your mind to. With our hands together, let's bring our hands to the forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. Our hands to the heart center, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And our hands to the mouth, reminding us to have clear and loving communications, sending out this positive energy we created together to all beings everywhere. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much practicing at home. It was a really fun class. I hope you enjoyed it too. I want to say thank you, an extra thank you to our Patreon community for helping to support these classes. And if you would like to be part of our 6-year anniversary celebration, we have a limited edition t-shirt that's coming out soon. To get your name on it, go to patreon.com, Fightmaster Yoga, there'll be a link below. And if you support at the $5 level monthly, your name will be included too, and a limited edition t-shirt. You'll also have the first chance to get it before they run out. So thank you so, so much. I will see you soon. Bye.